It is our tendency as human beings to think that we are not predictable. Ironically, making that one of our most predictable traits. Oftentimes, being someone with a sharp and analytical mind makes it easier for your decisions to be foreseen. Today, I want to spend some time with a psychology major to conduct an experiment and put it all on the line. Hey,
Hello.
Olivia, how are you?
I'm alright, how are you?
Good. Take a seat. Thank you for coming out here
Yeah, of
tonight
course.
with us and being a part of what I'm about to show you. I know
Yeah.
that being a psychology major in SUNY New Paltz can be a lot of time consuming, take a lot of
Yes.
energy. So thank you for taking some time to come with us. So we're just going to get right into it if that's okay with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
If I told you I'd written a word on the front of this card, which I have, and that you could say any word you like in the world and it'd be the word on the front of this card, would you find that to be surprising?
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah? Do you know right now what the word on the front of the card is?
No.
Exactly. No. Thank you very much for coming. I really appreciate it. So that's not the real experiment. The real experiment is this. I have one card that says no and another card that says yes. And in a minute, I'm going to put one of the cards face down on the table, and you have to try to guess correctly which one I put face down.
Okay.
Okay? Now, we'll do this 4 times in a row. So you have 4 chances of guessing it correctly. If at any point, Olivia, you do guess correctly, then you are proving that you're one of the few who is not predictable.
Okay.
Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So look, I'll mix these up just a little bit. I'm going to go with this one. Now, the first one is really easy, isn't it? It's like a 50-50 chance.
Right.
Yeah? So do you have a word in your head right now? What's the word you're thinking of?
Yes.
Yes. But of course you're thinking yes. Because did you notice I was nodding my head like this and gesturing to you in hopes to influence you of saying yes?
Mm-hmm.
So the first time was a little bit unfair, right?
Fair enough.
There's an important lesson behind this. Most times in life, we're influenced by the actions and behaviors of others. It's known as crowd behavior.
Okay.
Once you become aware of the influence that we all have on each other, you can make much better decisions when it comes to controlling your own outcome or
Okay.
making your own decisions.
Right.
So being aware is important of how we're influenced. But nevertheless, that's just the first round. But I want you to keep this in mind as we continue. Let me ask you a question though. Did you drive here tonight?
I did.
You did, okay. Do you have your keys on you?
I do.
You do. Can I see your keys?
Yeah.
Actually, don't show me your keys. Can you put them away? What's the word on the card?
No.
No. Okay. It's all right. So let me explain what was happening here. I
Okay.
kind of rushed you there. Did you notice with the keys and everything?
Yeah.
But what I was really interested in was a preconditioned habit. Most times we're guided by the patterns and habits that control much of our daily lives. That also affects much of our decision making. So the pattern of you choosing yes and then no was more predictable for me than you just randomly guessing out of the blue. It's the same scenario as if we became close friends
Right.
and we went out to a bar, let's say. I would know what drink you would like to order without even asking you.
Right.
Just this is a pattern that I've come to realize.
Right.
Once you become aware of these patterns,
Mm-hmm.
you can make major changes in your decision making that can ultimately make you less predictable.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Now we're going into round 3.
Okay.
So the third round is interesting because now you're starting to understand the way I'm playing here,
Mhm.
okay? We're going to go with this. Actually. Okay. Now, I'd like you to just walk me through your thought process here. Try to verbalize first if you can. What's going on in your head and what you think this card is.
Well, I've guessed wrong both times. The first time I guessed yes, but it was no. And the second time I guessed no, but it was yes.
Sure.
The second time it was a pattern. The first time it was because you were cueing me
Yes.
to say yes.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm thinking about whether or not you're cueing me, and I'm also thinking about whether or not there's a pattern that I should be paying attention to, or that I have already paid attention to without realizing it,
Yeah.
that is influencing me.
Yes or no?
I'm gonna go with no.
You're going to go with no?
Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
I want to introduce another element here.
Okay.
Okay. Olivia, make
Okay.
things a little bit more interesting.
Okay.
$20.
All right.
Okay. And the chance to change your mind. Now, if you get it correctly and you're right and it's no, you get to keep that $20. Okay, that's all for you.
Okay.
But I could be putting this $20 here because I know that you got it right, and I'm hoping that that makes you change your mind, right? But equally, I could be putting this $20 here because I know you got it wrong, and I'm hoping that makes you stick to your guns even more. But the third option is that I could just be putting it there to make the game a little bit more interesting. So knowing that, do you want to stick with your gut instincts or change your mind?
I think I want to stick with no.
You want to stick with no. Yes. There's a lesson behind this. When money or something of value is introduced to us, a lot of times our decision making becomes a lot faster, and we tend to make decisions a little bit irrationally, right? And so you have to be aware that pressure does make an impact on our decisions. Also, it's important to understand that pressure is all around us. And so we can't avoid pressure in any situation, but what you can do is learn to control yourself in pressured situations. And if you can do that, then you'll be much better off in making your own decisions because pressure won't be in the equation. And I guess ultimately, if you want to become unique, then you have to eliminate pressure altogether from making decisions. So now it gets interesting, Olivia. We got one round left, the final round, okay? I'm gonna go with this one. Now, so far, we've had a yes, a no, and then another no. Talk me through a little bit now that I've introduced pressure into the equation somewhat. Talk me through this final round and what your thought process is.
Well, I think my first thought is that since I've guessed no so many times, whether or not it would make sense to guess no this time or yes this time, if you think I'm going to say no again, then you might want to put yes down so that I get it wrong. But if you think that since I've guessed no so many times already, then I might want to change it and guess yes, then maybe you put no down so that I would get it wrong. Is it more predictable for me to guess no again or for me to change my guess to yes?
You know what? Let me just do this, Olivia, okay? I'm going to make things a little bit more interesting.
Okay.
Because why not? This $20 comes from this. Another $980, okay? Making that $1,000. Please do check, make sure that's real money.
I can, yeah. Goodness.
$1,000 on the final round. Okay?
Wow.
Now that's a lot more pressure to the equation.
Yeah.
On $1,000, what does the card say? What does it say on the card, Olivia?
I'm gonna go with no.
Here's what I'll tell you, Olivia. I want to tell you that the card says yes.
Okay.
Now, if you want to believe me or not is entirely up to you. But I'm going to give you 3 seconds of silence to make your absolutely final choice. But I'm telling you the card says yes. Now, you can stick with your guns and stick with no because you think I'm trying to manipulate in any way. Or you can believe me and go with yes. But it's totally up to you. 3 seconds of silence, okay?
Okay.
What does it say on the card?
Yes. No.
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 Final answer?
Final answer.
You want to turn it over? Here's what's important, Olivia. This is what I want to share with you. My intentions tonight were not to make you feel like you've lost. It's not to make you feel like this was set up for you to lose from the beginning. Here's what you must know. You've won tonight more than you've lost. Yes, you didn't win $1,000, but you gained so much invaluable lessons. The first is that we are always, the recognition of always being guided by the actions and decisions of others. The second are the patterns and habits that control much of our daily lives. And the third is how pressure plays such an important role in making decisions. But I think the most important is tying them all together and using that to your advantage. You see, you are unique. You're very unique. And you are in control of your own distinctiveness. No amount of money or people that you associate with are ever going to give that to you, Olivia. That's something that you got to understand and take for yourself. The main purpose tonight was to encourage you to always be unique. Once you understand the patterns of predictability, it will help you in keeping that uniqueness alive.
Awesome. Perfect.
Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you very
out.
much.
Thank you very much.
You think you weren't as predictable? Or?
I definitely had this idea that I wasn't quite as predictable as most people, but I guess knowing that it was so easy to predict what I was going to do was a little, not disheartening, but definitely made me think a little bit more about what I do. I was certainly hoping that I would guess one of the cards right and be a little bit more unique than it is easy to predict it out of just an ordinary person. Now I have kind of an idea of how to be intentionally unique and go against the grain if I choose to do so, which I probably will. Definitely thinking about the patterns of behavior that I exhibit. I think I'll probably be thinking more about things before I do them.